we've come outside because London is clearly burning.
Yeah, it was getting a bit loud, wasn't it?
Yeah. Right, I'm going to start again.
Okay.
So, Ray, welcome. Fucking hell, what am I doing out here? Right, what is tonight about? What's going on?
Well, unbeknownst to me, today and tomorrow are the 40th year anniversary of the release of the Rude Boy movie, which I was in. And so the Broadway Clash, who are a very good Clash tribute band, thought it would be good to put on an event for it. So they organised it, I showed up, and hopefully we're all going to have a good time.
I think we are all going to have a good time. I mean, you can't really have a bad night if the Clash had anything to do with it, right?
No, exactly. Always a good time.
Yeah, always a good time.
Guaranteed, really.
Definitely. So I'm going to jump straight in. This is really unsophisticated. I just want to ask you, what do you think about the punk scene at the moment? Are you in it, around
I'm not really in it, no, to be honest. It's like every now and again I'll pitch up and see some bands playing, but I haven't got a clue what they're getting up to, or even if they're like punk anymore, really. You know, I'm like, I'll still go and see the UK Subs and think that that's a punk band.
Yeah, well, definitely.
Yeah.
I had Charlie on here a year ago, actually.
Right, okay.
Yeah. They're definitely still very relevant in the punk scene.
Yeah. But I'm glad to know that there is still one and that they're still doing it. I haven't got the energy.
Yeah. So you still like tap a little foot or nod a little head every now and then?
Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah. Well, like where I live down on the south coast, and there's a local band called Kid Capici that they're not really a punk band, but they've got a lot of like punky energy.
Okay.
So I go and watch them, and like after about 15 minutes, I have to go and have a sit down.
Have a sit down now, have a little breather.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I've got asthma, so I have to have an actual breather, every now and then. So have you been watching punk through the years, or have you just did what you did back in? Because I haven't like read books on you or anything.
Yeah,
I've just...
no, well, I don't know if there are any. To be
there
honest.
Are lots.
Are there?
I ain't read them.
Right. Yeah. I come in and out, but not on any strict level. It's like I'm sort of stuck in like everything that was like. A girlfriend once said to me, "You do know they made music after 1980, don't you?" And I said, "I'm not so sure about that."
They made something.
Yeah.
Was it music?
Exactly.
Not so sure.
Yeah. But also it's like, when I was jumping about in 77, 78, all that time, there weren't many people over, let's say, 40 coming to gigs anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like, in a way, it's like, leave the young people to it. Do you know what I mean?
That's an interesting thought, because I'm in my 40s now, and where I go, there are a lot of old punks.
Right. Okay.
And doesn't seem to be much in between. We're either really old,
right,
or really old as in 40 and over,
right,
or really young
right,
as in under 25. There doesn't seem to be much in between. I don't know if they're having children.
Okay, so whereas my generation, you had that in between people. You didn't have my age group onwards. There was no like, old people.
Right. Do you think?
So I wonder what happened. I don't know. Is
that because it started when you were so young, or?
Well, I think that when I was like 19, 20, people that were over 40 were so far removed from what we would call like youth culture or popular culture.
Yeah. So they were even before the Elvis.
Yeah.
Like the
exactly.
Rock and roll.
Exactly.
Right.
So whereas I suppose like people in their 50s and 60s now, they were around for all of that, so they've got that in their sensibility and their psyche, so they'll still show up.
Yeah.
But the ones in between, I guess they'll be all like Thatcher's children, won't they?
Yes.
So they're all off like running everything.
I'm not going to go down that road that as much as I would like to.
Oh yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, I forgot.
No, it's cool. I would like to. I'd like to.
Yeah.
But with a little bit of politics in mind, what do you make of this 2020? Right. So Brexit's just happened.
Yep.
Apparently, don't know what's going on there. We've got the coronavirus. What do you make of all this? Nonsense on the news. I don't know what to make of it. What do you make of it?
I think that the authorities appear to be making it up as they go along. So I figure as they don't know what they're doing, I'm certainly not going to know what they're doing. So I'm just taking every day as it comes and go with the flow.
Yeah.
But I have got I've got my
You've
little
got
mask.
you've got your mask. Okay, fair dues, mate.
I was around Shoreditch earlier, and there was loads of people wandering around with them.
I can imagine.
And with gloves on and all that. So there's a lot of fear going on.
Yeah.
And I'm trying not to buy into the fear.
That's interesting again, because in West London, where I just
Right.
travelled from, hardly anyone. I think I saw 2 people with masks on,
Right.
and one of them had their mask down
Right.
and was having a cigarette. So what is the point of that?
Yeah,
what are you doing?
I don't know. I think, but we're being run by headless chickens at the moment. So
Right.
you know.
Yeah. I mean, the monarchy is starting to fall down.
yeah, that's good, isn't it?
That is good. That is
Yeah.
good. I didn't think it'd be in my lifetime.
I know,
go
no, God
Joe,
bless him.
Trump. I don't know what the fuck to make of it. Swearing. Right. Okay. What would you like to see being represented for 2012? Not in a.
For 2012.
Yeah, just not 2012. Where are we?
2020.
She's had 4 pints. What would you like to be represented for 2020 in years to come?
Well, when people look back and say,
Yeah.
what was that?
If someone was to open a time, what do they call them? These things that go in the
Time
ground.
capsule.
Time capsule. Yeah.
I'd like people to look back and think that was the time that the British population woke up to the fact that the people that want to be in charge aren't wanting to be in charge for your interests.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? But hopefully, in the same way that when punk exploded, the country was in the shit.
Yeah.
So now we're in a different kind of shit, but we're still in the shit. So hopefully, something that we haven't even noticed yet is suddenly going to erupt.
Yeah.
You know, mostly at the moment, it seems to be Greta Thunberg is sort of like leading the way and trying to drag everyone up.
She's holding a flag for
exactly.
for us, isn't she?
You know,
A lot of people don't like that. They don't like a young girl.
No, well, of course not, because she threatens their hegemony and status quo and everything, doesn't she? But see, like, I went to an event 2 years ago where Bernie Rhodes was speaking, and people were asking him what he's doing. He turned around and said, "I'm 72 years old. I've agitated my times. Now it's you lot's turn."
Exactly. It's like he's paved the way, really, for us to like start taking over, and then we've paved the way for the younger generation to do the
so
same
now
thing.
They've got to get out and do stuff, But maybe they are.
Yeah.
And people my age don't notice.
I just think they're doing it in a different way. You know, music. Does music work? We've tried it that way. Do they listen to it? Yeah, a little bit, and then some fake Labour Tory bloke comes out and says, "Oh, I was in a punk band when I went to fucking Oxford."
Oh yeah,
I'm gonna
favourite song
cut
is
that. Yeah. I'm gonna cut that.
But they're all doing something different now, aren't they?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, unless you get infected with a love of punk rock, there's a whole load of other stuff open to you now that we didn't have.
Totally. I mean, the internet is. The internet is like 30 years old now, and as we know it, and it's opened up so much. The world is a whole lot smaller than it used to be.
Yeah.
And hi. Right. I'm going to do the quick. I ask everyone this.
Yeah.
It's the best of. So it's best gig as a. You're DJing tonight, right?
Yes.
How often do you DJ?
Not often enough.
Would you like to do more of that?
Yeah.
Okay, and what's stopping you? What's holding you back?
I've got other things going on as well, so I forget.
You're just a busy man.
Well, I'm busy, and also it's like, the brain cells aren't functioning, so it's like, I'll go to bed thinking, oh, I must send so-and-so an email tomorrow, and then I wake up and forget that I was going to send them an email.
What kind of stuff do you like playing?
Punk and reggae.
Punk and reggae. Okay, who's your favourite reggae band?
Mighty Diamonds.
Nice. And how many times did you see them in your time? Once. Would you like to see them again?
In 1972, and I had an option. The Mighty Diamonds were playing at the Lyceum, and Bob Marley was playing at the Lyceum, and I only had the money to go to one of them.
Okay.
So I went to see the Mighty Diamonds.
And did you see Bob Marley after that?
In LA in about 81, I think, or 80, maybe 1980.
So you eventually got
obviously
to see him.
before he died, but
yeah,
I got to see him eventually. Yeah, except that it was in a huge venue.
Not quite the same.
Yeah, the Lyceum would have been a lot better.
Yeah.
But,
I agree. Well, I never got to see the Clash Or AC/DC for that matter.
Oh, really?
No.
I used to see AC/DC at the Nashville Rooms, which is now called the Three Kings.
Yes.
At West Kensington Station.
It's my manor.
Right.
Yeah,
I used to go, went to see them there. They did a residency every Sunday for about a month, free, with Bon Scott.
So so I've read. So there's an homage to them on a wall of a shop opposite the Three Kings right now. Yeah.
Oh, right. I'll go and have a look.
Yeah, it's there's not much else to go to Fulham for, but that is there.
I know, my kid lives in Fulham and I'm like, why do you want to live there? Well, he hasn't got any choice, that's where his mum lives. But
fair dues.
Yeah.
Fair dues.
Exactly.
Okay, so we're going to go into the best of. So, best gig as a DJ?
For me, opening for the Dropkick Murphys in, I think it was Dusseldorf or Munich, like 7,000 people.
Nice.
That was mental.
I love the Dropkicks.
Yeah, they were great.
They put on a good show, right?
Yeah, I toured with them for 2 weeks around Europe. That was great.
Brilliant. When was that?
About 6 years ago.
Lovely, nice.
Something like that.
What's the strangest job strangest job you've ever had?
In my life?
Yeah.
God, the strangest job. Well, the strangest work experience I ever did was doing security at a Cramps gig in Los Angeles and deciding it would be a good idea to take acid beforehand.
Come on, why would you do that to yourself?
Because I was stupid.
I have got so many questions. This is a whole new interview. Yeah. I'm booking this one in.
I'm trying to think of like conventional jobs. Oh God, I've had so many. Okay. Also, when I moved to LA, some guy started up. He was probably like the first person that ever did like telephone sales.
Okay.
And that was a strange job. Trying to sell something over the phone to people that A, you weren't ever going to meet them, and B, you didn't give a shit about the thing you were trying to sell.
That's a hard job, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't even want to do it now, let alone back then.
No, and it's also a very specialised job as well. Yeah. Not anyone can just go and sit on a telephone and say, "Do you want to buy this?"
I know, no, it was bizarre. I didn't really understand it, so that would have been the strangest job, really.
Okay, stranger than taking acid at a Cramps.
Well, the other one was a strange experience, but that was a strange job.
Right, what's the most interesting? When I wrote this question, I was thinking of you as an actor. What's the most interesting part that you've ever played?
Interesting part. I did a couple of cowboy films in Spain a couple of years ago, so they were the most interesting because I just played like a badass gang member.
Wicked.
Yeah, but I had to learn to ride a horse to do it.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So that was kind of the most interesting for me.
And how long did that take? Had you ridden a horse before, or?
No, never.
So
no, I had to go to I had to find a stables in the country in England where they taught cowboy style riding.
Yeah.
So then I went out to do it in the film. So that
Did you break anything?
No, luckily.
We were talking about going out to gigs and stuff earlier. You said you don't really go out that much.
Right.
But if you could say who your favourite new band is, who would you say?
Well, that'd be
artist?
This band Kid Capici from Hastings.
Okay. And how long have they been around?
I think they've been around for about 4 years, but they're just starting to break out.
Okay.
Playing at the Scala soon, actually.
Okay, keep an eye out.
Yeah.
Get an interview in for
London.
London Lens.
And there's a band I haven't yet seen that are also from Hastings. 4 sisters have got a punk band called Made of Ace.
I've heard of that.
Right.
Yes, I've heard of them.
They're amazing. I'd like to see them.
Okay, right. I'm going to get them on as well.
Oh, great. Yeah,
I've
they're
heard
brilliant.
A lot of people are saying good stuff about them.
Right.
Yeah, Made of Ace.
Yeah.
Check them out. I'm talking to the camera, but I'm not in the camera. Check them out.
Hit that thing. What do you call it? The selfie
The reversey thing. Yeah, I'll do that later on.
Right. Yeah. Just
I'll edit it in.
Popping yourself backwards and forwards.
What's the best album of all time for you?
Best album. Rolling Stones' Beggar's Banquet.
Fair dues, man.
It's also like the dirtiest album in every way, in the sound, the words, everything. It's just a really filthy album.
How many times have you got to see them?
Rolling Stones?
Yeah.
About 8.
Wicked. Another band I've never seen.
Best one was at Brixton Academy.
And why was that the best?
Because every other gig I'd seen them in was a stadium.
Oh, okay. Yeah, nice and small.
Yeah.
Wicked, man.
Which seems funny saying that Brixton Academy is a small gig.
Well, compared to a stadium, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, where are we? Best film?
Best film?
Yeah.
either Apocalypse Now or Goodfellas.
You are showing your age, Ray. Showing your age, bruv.
Tell me the best film of the 21st century.
I don't know. I don't watch films.
All right.
Jumanji. I don't know.
Exactly.
Mary Poppins 2. Well, who knows?
Well, yeah. See, this is the worst thing, is that like you reach a certain point in your life where like you realise that you're sounding like your parents, because everything that people try to tell you about, you're like, yeah, it's crap.
Yeah. I don't think it's crap. I'm just seeing it from a different perspective.
Right, oh, that's good.
That's the way I look at it.
That's open-minded.
Yeah, shit. If you can remember, what's the best night out that you've ever had?
Best night out? Oh my God. In what context?
Life.
Of absolutely anything?
Yeah, that you can remember.
Right, Jesus Christ. Okay, that would have been in New York in about mid-90s, about 95. Me and a mate of mine ended up at a poetry event on the Lower East Side, and then the person that we went there with took us to a nightclub afterwards that was run by a bunch of drag queens, and when we went in, the band that was on stage had just started playing New York Groove as we walked through the door. That was fantastic.
It was almost written.
Yeah.
Sounds great. Sounds like a good night out.
If you're hanging out with New York drag queens in the 90s, you were having a good time.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Okay. Now,
yes.
If the last question.
Okay.
Thank you so much. I've
very
loved
welcome.
talking
Thanks
to you.
for coming and talking to me.
That's all right. It was a long way, bruv.
I know.
If the world was to end tonight.
Yeah, which it might.
It might well. And aliens find a remnant, what would you like 2020's epitaph to be?
It was fun while it lasted.
Wicked. Thank you so much, Ray Gange.
Oh, you're welcome.
Grand? That ain't your name. Ray Gange, thank you from London Lens TV. Cheers.
You're very welcome. Thanks for coming.